So to start, you're going to prep your ingredients. So we have kale, we have carrots, zucchini, and some stalks of celery. And I forgot to film the garlic and onion, but for the kale, you just break up the leaves into smaller pieces, and I chose to use the stems. I set them aside in a separate bowl from the kale leaves because these have to cook longer. And I put the kale leaves and used my hands to tore the leaves apart into smaller pieces. Yeah, and continue doing this with all of your kale leaves. I used about 2 bunches of kale, and that made about 6 cups of kale leaves. And I peeled the carrots and chopped off the tops, and then just went ahead and diced them. Then I set this aside in the same bowl that I had the kale stems in, because these vegetables require a little bit more cooking time than the kale leaves. And repeat the same process with the stalks of celery. Make sure that you wash them and chop off the top and bottom because those are usually a little bit dirty. And then, yeah, just cube it into small little pieces and add that in along with the carrots and kale stems. And then with the zucchini, do the same thing. I chose to keep the skin on, but if you prefer, you can peel the skin off. I just washed it and then cubed it, and it should be fine. And I kept these in slightly smaller pieces, slightly larger pieces than the other veggies. So I forgot to film what else I added in the pot, but I had farro, onion, vegetable broth, garlic cloves, 1 can of diced tomatoes, then I added crushed red pepper and all the veggies, and I added some salt and cumin and let that come up to a boil and let it simmer for 2 hours. And make sure that it's covered when you simmered it because you want it to stay nice and juicy. And this is what it looks like after those 2 hours. And after 2 hours over medium heat, add in the kale. And in this case, I used a little bit of red kale and a little bit of green kale, but of course you can use whatever you have on hand. And then I also added in 1 can of beans. Oh yeah, I tried to stir the kale in, but there was a lot. Yeah, so I added 1 can of beans, some lemon juice, and I ended up adding some more water because there wasn't enough liquid to cover all the kale. Yeah, so I added some more vegetable broth, but you can use water instead. Then I stirred everything up to combine and let the mixture come up to a slow boil again. And basically you just turn it down and simmer it for another hour, and look at that, it looks fantastic. This is what it looks like after the end of the cooking time, after the 3 hours of simmering, and you can see all the vibrant colors of the veggies and the kale.